Hello, it's your Commodore here, Ty Coles, and I'm going to be reviewing Marvel's WandaVision. And this is episode 4 now. We interrupt this program. So, wow. That's all I can say is, wow. Well, we start off with your recap of the previous 3 episodes, and you will need it for this episode, trust me. We're coming back from the snap. Hulk snap in Endgame. Bruce! And we're in a hospital, and you see how chaotic it was after this event, with all these people coming back.
They're all coming back. We don't have any capacity.
Excuse me. I'm looking for a patient.
Oh, my wife. Do you have a phone? No. I have to call my wife.
5 years after Thanos' snap, all those people presumed dead are now reappearing. Just like they're carrying on from where they left off. One so happens to be Monica Rambeau, now Captain Rambeau. So it's pretty much confirmed that Monica Rambeau was Geraldine. And we find out that her mother, Maria Rambeau, aka Phantom, BFFs with Captain Marvel, is now dead.
Your mom? She died, honey. What? No, you're mistaken.
And so they're keeping with the 5-year gap because it was 2 years after Monica disappeared that her cancer came back and she died, and Monica came back 3 years after that.
Maria died 3 years ago. No. Which was 2 years after you... After our wife.
But she wastes no time and goes back to work.
Been 3 weeks and you're the first to report. Can't say I'm surprised, Captain.
How are the numbers for the astronaut training program?
Dismal. Lost half my personnel on the Blip, and half of those remaining have lost their nerve.
It's interesting that they call it the Blip. We all know it as the snap, but it's interesting what they call it. So, and we learned that Monica is a member of S.W.O.R.D, which her mother helped organize.
Listen, Monica, I just want to acknowledge the awkwardness of the situation. I know S.W.O.Rd's your home. Your mom built this place from the ground up. You grew up here.
Maybe because being BFS of Captain Marvel does have its advantages. So, she goes back to work. And she's sent on a missing persons case. And guess where? Westview, New Jersey. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? So she meets up with FBI agent Jimmy. Woo!
Morning, it looked like you flew the coop.
Your missing person is in the witness protection program.
I've contacted known associates, relatives.
And let me guess, none of them have seen him either.
Who you might know as the FBI agent in charge of Scott Lang in the Ant-Man and the Wasp during his house arrest. They realize that the field that's around the city is hexagonal. And so she sends in a spy helicopter. Monica goes in and she's sucked in after it.
Is it because we are outside of a certain radius, or maybe because we don't have a personal connection?
Captain Rambeau. Watch it. Rambeau.
So within 24 hours of this event happening, S.W.O.R.D has the entire place canvassed, base of operations, ready to go. And they bring in some very well-known scientists. One of those scientists is Dr. Darcy Lewis.
It means whatever the threat is, S.W.O.R.D clearly has no idea what they're dealing with.
I'm a chemical engineer.
No one cares.
All right, grab your gear.
Whom you might recognize as one of the scientists in the first 2 Thor movies. And she was the one that discovered the broadcast signal from Wanda, showing WandaVision.
Equipment registered an extremely high level of CMBR. That's...
Relic radiation dating back to the Big Bang.
Yeah. entwined was a broadcast frequency, so I had your goons pick me up a sweet vintage TV, and when I plugged this bad boy in, voila, sound and picture.
And if you remember, now the pieces are starting to come together. She was the one who was watching the TV after the first episode. It was Jimmy's voice coming out of the speaker.
Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda, can you hear me? I'm here to help.
Pop quiz.
It's interesting. We knew he was coming through. They did not.
What was?
Nothing. It's over, mission failure.
The beekeeper that was coming up was an agent who initially started in a hazmat suit, but as soon as he crossed the barrier, he turned into a bee suit. And the end of his rope turned into a jump rope. And we finally see the helicopter that Monica sent in, but it de-aged. Like, it went retro.
Like a retro version of a S.W.O.R.D drone?
Bingo.
But how did it change and why?
Let's go with the production design.
Or render it useless?
So, they're piecing this together as we're piecing this together. Like, we're the investigators. And we also learned that the cast, the other people, like Mr. and Mrs. Hart, Herb, and all of them, are the actual citizens of that city. And they're being trapped. They're being held there.
Mr. and Mrs. Hart, played by Todd and Sharon Davis.
Avilash Tandon as Norm.
Harold Proctor as Jones.
You got Isabel Matsueda, cast as Beverly.
John Collins as Herb.
Two were not. Agnes was not one of them that they identified. Dottie was not one of them that they identified of who they were. So we still have two unknown people. And they locate Monica as Geraldine.
Does she seem okay to you?
Well, she doesn't appear to be harmed in any way.
Then Geraldine does the ultimate sin. And she mentions Ultron. And we finally get to see what happened to her.
What did you know about Ultron? And I want you to leave.
I'm starting to believe more and more now that Wanda is the evil one. She is the villain of her own damn show. So she blasts Monica out of her little bubble. And when Visions comes to talk to her, it's not Vision, it's dead Vision. With the gaping hole Thanos put in his head.
She left, honey. She had to rush home.
What? What is it? What's wrong?
And really realize my theory when I was talking about these episodes earlier is right. It's all Wanda.
It's all Wanda.
She's the one that's creating this illusion. She's holding the citizens of that city hostage for her own little bubble. She says it herself. She doesn't want to leave.
No, we can't. This is our home.
Are you sure?
Don't worry, darling. I have everything under control.
And she doesn't want to deal with quote-unquote strangers, which she feels like are S.W.O.R.D. Well, you kind of make it because she never dealt with S.W.O.R.D. There's still some questions lingering, like why the city in the first place and all, but also, is Vision really alive? Oh, it's getting juicy now. And we finish it off with just a little bit of Jimi Hendrix. But I always think of something else when I hear a bit of Jimmy.
Well, what should we watch tonight?
And this show is really sinking its teeth into you, and you gotta watch it. And I know for a fact, I really wish they came out with 2 episodes this week. But we gotta wait until next Friday for episode 5. I am ridiculously excited for that, to learn more. We might get the 80s episode with the Halloween stuff in it. And I think Wanda's little perfect bubble, I was wrong that it would collapse this episode. It will most likely collapse next episode. If not, episode 6 at the latest. So, for your Commodore titles, live long and prosper. Hailing frequencies closed.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch one of my other videos, and if you can show your support by donating to my PayPal.
So, for Commodore Ty, live long and prosper all. And for now, until next time, the hailing frequencies are closed.